Hey, Scott Russell, just had a few little experiences I wanted to talk about here. I think things are getting pretty desperate, and people are getting desperate, and we're starting to see desperate actions. Desperate people do desperate things. And I bought a car the other day with my son and to sell, and it turned out we got stitched. It had finance owed on it. So I was kind of faced with what do we do? And I went back around to the house that I bought it off a middle-aged lady, and she, the curtains were drawn. She wasn't home, and I'm going, oh no, here comes this game. And that somebody said she'd be back Sunday, so I came back Sunday, and long story short, I decided on the way. I said, if somebody's that desperate, who cares about the money, right? I mean, if somebody's that desperate, there's a life on the other end of this. And the lady had kind of opened her life up to me a bit when I was buying it, and it said how she was coming out of the back of a midlife crisis and life had been pretty hard on her, and she was trying to get her head above water. And so knocked on the door. I just sort of said, look, I just come back around, not to jam you about the car with the finances. I said, but if you're in trouble, who cares about the money? Let's sit down together, figure out what we can do. Maybe I can sell the car and help you pay your debt somehow, and so you can get out of it. And she, very appreciative, but she said, no, I've actually paid the debt off. It just hasn't been cleared. So I'm like, oh, thank God for that. But the point being, there's so many people whose lives are coming around in need, and they're just, I've seen a lot of it. I was on a train in Brisbane last week, and I don't catch a train a lot, and another middle-aged lady just come up and sat next to me or near across from me, and just opened her life up to me. Oh, I'm in menopause. I'm thinking that's kind of not usually what a lady sits down and starts telling you. And she was a respectable looking lady, and then she's telling me about her partner, and she's breaking up with him, and she's asking, just hurting and lonely and looking for someone that would listen and give her some love. And I didn't take advantage because I'm not that type of guy of the opportunity. I just encouraged her to keep going, encouraged her to find where God is in all of this for her life. And maybe I think women are pretty intuitive. They seem to be able to sense a safe place. And so I'm getting these people that are ladies that are just telling me their heart, random ladies. And it sent me thinking, there's a lot out there. There's a lot of you, a lot of us, a lot of people going through a lot of pain, a lot of pressure, a lot of times of stress. And if you're randomly talking to someone on a train, then you're pretty lonely. There's just, where do you go to get answers? And I feel it for women, because I mean men too, but women, it's always about their body, or once you're vulnerable, somebody will take advantage of that. And this woman on the train definitely was giving that vibe, but I just chose not to go down that path. But it's not me. It's just not in the character of who I am. So I wanted to put a quick little video out and say, where are you at? Where are you at in yourself? Woman, man, where are you? Because things are changing, and maybe your life is coming apart in ways that you are not comfortable with, or you can't handle, or change is coming on you. Don't isolate. Don't pull into yourself. Don't do anything crazy. But just know there's always a way out. Always a way out. I've been in some of the craziest situations, in some of the craziest places, and there's always a way out. It may not be the first option, because in reality, sometimes that discomfort brings change in us, and we need change. We've sat somewhere for too long and complained, and God knows what's coming up the line for us, and He knows where we need to be. And sometimes we fight God. I was just talking to someone recently too that looks like they're losing their house, and a gentleman, and him and his friend, and they were, well, they don't own it together, but the man's just being encouraged and saying, you know what, maybe God's trying to get you out from underneath the load. But I've got, I got to save this. I've got to, mate, let go. Stop fighting for what's leaving your life. If something's leaving your life, let it go. I've learned that with the people around my life I love. I maybe to a fault, I don't know, but my children I let go when I went through the divorce, and I've been there, and I've tried to have connection, but it's been blocked. The children have been weaponized, and so in the end I went, you know what, I'm just going to love from afar. They'll be drawn to love, and I'll let it go. And they've started to come back one by one. The people around your life, a lady you love, a man you love, whoever you love and care about, don't try to control them. Let them go. And if they're the ones for you, if they really care, they're going to come back around and put the effort in. And it's not about them putting in effort, but it's about them showing that you have value and giving unconditional love both ways. And I don't think anyone's ever perfect in that. We're all on our journey of learning. But when the spirit's right, you can walk through anything. So no matter what you're going through, like this lady's, maybe you owe money on cars and you don't know what to do. Maybe you're suicidal. Maybe you're desperate. Maybe you feel alone. I know that feeling. Friend, talk to God. Talk to God. And reach out. If you need to, reach out. Reach out to someone around your life that's of like spirit. If there's people that are going to judge you or condemn you for the changes or the things that happen in your life, you don't want them in your life. When I went through my divorce, 5 years ago now, some people came around and wanted to stand on the top of the hole I was in and spit on my head. Others came and just sat. They didn't have any advice. They just sat. Some had advice. I really wasn't looking for advice. Some just love you. They sit and just love you. And I remember looking at some of these people almost figuratively and going, what are you doing here? They've told me I'm trash and I'm not worth anything, but you're here? Why? And they just look at you and smile. Friend, you're worth it. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care how you look. I don't care how you feel. I don't care what your weight is. I don't care what life's throwing at you. You're a winner. You can make it. You can do it. You can get through this. No matter what the globalists are doing to us, you're going to find the right people to have around your life. You're going to be with all the right people doing all the right things in all the right places because you got away from all the wrong people doing all the wrong things in all the wrong places. Make those positive changes in your life and watch the beauty of what comes to your life as you start to make changes. Swallow your pride. Swallow, the fear of what people think of you and live it, because the right people are going to love you no matter what you've done. Going to love you no matter how you look. They're going to love you no matter what, because your spirit and their spirit is one. And sometimes you've just got to love from afar. Love from afar. And be loved from afar. But eventually, one day, you hope, things can be united and peace can come. So just a word to encourage you today. Keep going. You're worth it. Keep going. You're worth it.